Hey everyone, welcome. Hey everyone, welcome. Welcome everyone. We're just going to give a few minutes until a few people join in. We should get started at around 2:03, 2:04-ish. Hello, Tom.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm great.
Yeah, got a great turnout here. Hey,
Hmm.
good to see ya, Ryan, Richard, yeah, Bailey, Chantel. All great to see y'all. Thanks so much for jumping on here. Excited about this one. Lots of interest actually, eh? Like it was one of our top ones in a while that we've had, and so yeah, so this will be fun.
Hmm.
What do you think? Maybe give people another 2 or 3 minutes
Yeah.
to join, then we'll get into it. Okay. Is I'm just looking at your flag, and I always tease you about the Brazil. But there's some like World Cup going on right now? I know there's the Euros, but there's like some
There's
Copa Cup or
the
something like that.
it's like
Is
the American, like it's
American
Copa
version?
America.
Yeah.
It's
Is it?
just like all the Americas. So South America, Central America, North America.
Are they in it? Is Brazil?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. How are they doing?
Brazil, Canada, US. It's doing well.
Yeah. Did you guys win? You guys usually win those things, right?
Yeah, have been better, but
Oh,
the
really? Okay.
new coach, I think he's getting the grip of the players. It's getting the teams being better handled now.
Good.
Hello everyone. Let me just already share my screen here, just so then.
Hey, Joe. Good to see you. Yeah. Hope all is well. Siobhan, yeah, good to see you too. Carly, great to have you on. Trish, good to see you. Dave, great, awesome turnout.
Can you see my screen? If you guys can just sign, do some emojis. I don't know. There we go. I see thumbs up here.
I don't know how you do those emojis.
There's something called reactions and like the bottom thing.
Oh man, yeah, look at all those thumbs up. Okay. People are teasing me now.
Nice.
Yeah, the thumbs up and just flying across our screen. So
Yeah. I also see a raised hand. I didn't know that was a thing.
I think that's if you wanted to ask questions or like have
Yeah.
yourself unmuted or something like that. So yeah, for the person who put up their hand, we'll save questions for the very end. Well, we can ask what maybe like feel free, I guess, for everyone really like toss in those questions as you have them. Just there's a Q&A section, there should be. So throw those in there. As we're going along, we'll kind of come back at the end and go through all of them. But if instead of having to remember it, you can throw it in, and if it's a quick question, we might just type you the response. But if it's a good one that we think a lot of people might have that question, we'll kind of have a Q&A at the end of the period here.
Yep.
So
Okay.
cool. Should we get started?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, yeah, to start, well, first off, I always like to say thanks to everyone for joining. It's always exciting to see a good turnout like this, and I think for this, it's if you're using BluMortgage, I think this is going to be really kind of cool for you to see something that you can kind of pick up and start using. And then, hey, if you're not using BluMortgage and just kind of curious, maybe you're watching this live or watching the recording. Hopefully, this gives you a good flavor of kind of what Blue's all about and some of the stuff we try to solve here. I think it's kind of a funny story how this feature kind of came about. It's been in Blue for years, right? I mean, I think it's been pretty much since you've joined, Mariah, and um, pretty shortly after the launch. It's one of those things were built on the Zoho platform, like some of you guys know, and so there ends up being these features that get added, but we don't really pay too much attention to it. But about a month-ish ago, Mariah, you kind of came out of a couple I think 2 demos in a row, and you were like, "Oh, so these guys were asking about portals," and I said, "Okay, maybe not." And I said, "No, there is portals," and it was news to you, and we're saying, "Okay, if it's news to Mariah, nothing against you, it's probably news to a lot of our users, so maybe we should
Yeah.
educate it." And so we said, "Okay, well, let's just see," and we threw up this webinar, and like I said, it was a record turnout. So really
Yep.
excited about this. The last thing I'll kind of say in terms of the intro is that this is not designed to be a replacement for anything that you have in terms of like a portal for your application or collecting docs, like that part of the process. I know some people I see here might be using Finmo. Other people might be using Velocity. Users out there might be using Scarlet. They're still going to do what they do. And I want to make that we like to draw very clean lines in the sand. And we say, well, that side of things in terms of actually, doing the application and collecting docs, those platforms are still very, very good at it, and that's what it's for. The CRM and BluMortgage, our whole thing has always been about just, once you get past that phase or during that phase, just maintaining good relationships. And so as the portal is today, as we'll show you it, is really designed about that. It's not designed to kind of get these, borrowers through and doing applications and all that. It's more of a place where either your borrowers or your partners, and I think we'll probably focus more on the partner side, but can actually go in and kind of have a place where they can manage that relationship with you. So I think that's an important kind of thing to get out of the way up front, just to kind of say what's be the tone and how to think about this stuff. So yeah, I think without any further ado, I'll kind of turn it over to you, Mariah, and we can get right into it.
Yeah. So, hey everyone, just in case you don't know who I am, so I'm the sales and marketing lead here at Blue. Some of you I have met during our demos, some of you I have just seen your names in our CRM. So it's a pleasure to have you join us today. And pretty much we will be talking today about how you can enhance your client and partner engagement through portals. And when I say engagement, it's not just building the relationship with these people. It's about making sure that that relationship it's a two-way conversation. It's not just you talking at them, it's
Yeah.
not them talking at you. It's like actually you guys collaborating and
Like most good relationships, I guess, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
least it
There's
should be.
some relationship advice for everyone who they didn't know they'd be getting it,
Yeah.
but yeah. Yeah.
So to talk a little bit about our agenda today, we already went through the welcome and introduction. I'm going to be talking about a little bit understanding what portals are, the types of portals, some key features and benefits. Then I'll do a live demonstration just showing you what that looks like in Blue's portal. And then we have a little Q&A session. So understanding portals. I think very first question that people might be wondering is like, what is a portal? So as Tom was saying, a portal, it doesn't take out of the way your deal submission platform. It's not a substitution. It's just something that will add an extra layer in there. So clients, partners can log in, see information, they can update information, they can see notes, they can just track along their deal, see what's going on. You can use it as a way of communicating with your client, but also a way where they can communicate with you, where they can go in, write notes, and be like, let's say Tom is my broker, can be like, hey Tom, what's going on here? Why you didn't tell me about that? Or like, hey, do you need something from me? You guys can use that almost like an interaction venue. And then the second one comes to the types of portals. So you do have the option to have portals for clients and portals for partners. Both of
Partners,
them,
Mariah, partners, I guess, just for everyone, we say partner. That's very like realtors, I guess. That's probably the biggest type of partner. I guess what other types of, I guess there's like advisors. I don't know if some folks that here work with specific, advisors who might refer them deals and want to know the status of deals. But partners take a lot of different forms. I guess it's just anyone who's on the deal who's not the borrower or
yeah,
borrowers, I guess, or you, I guess, right? You or
yeah.
your team. Yeah.
And then when talking about types of portals, it's important to note that at least in Blue, you can have one portal that's already included. You don't need to pay anything extra for it. So it's about thinking like, okay, who I should be focusing on sharing this with? Should I be doing it with my client or should I be doing it with the partners? What I would say is most of our clients, they choose the partners because they already have their deal submission platform that does that functionality for them in terms of having a client portal where the client can log in and see information. So it's about choosing which one you would like to build in.
Yeah, I think partner is, yeah, a lot more common. I think it's for the reason you described, Mariah, which is, yeah, I think for the client they have kind of this flow, and for clients it's a little bit more transactional. Like we always encourage everyone we work with to say, hey, you want to go from transaction to trust, right? So you don't want your clients just to view you as a transaction, but a trusted advisor, really. And that's the long-term goal. But I wouldn't say for all borrowers and all brokers were 100% there yet, but I think we're much closer to that trusted advisor, with partners that we work with. If you have, for a lot of folks, I'm sure out there, it's you have, your set of realtors or your set of advisors or set of lawyers that you're always doing work with, and it's an ongoing relationship. It's not just a one-time transaction. And so, from a value perspective, there's a lot more value to be able to go in and see, many deals that you might be working on at any given time for a partner. But also, it's a little bit of like an overhead thing, right? Where if I'm just doing one transaction with you, maybe I don't want to go in and create a login and remember this new place that I have to go to for a portal. But again, if I'm working with a realtor and we're doing multiple deals a month
Mhm.
together, there are a lot more, there's a ton of more ROI for them to go in there, spend the time, get it set up, remember that password, because just there's a lot more utility to it. So yeah, I mean, we'll get into it, but that's kind of where we see the two differences between a client and a partner portal.
Yeah. And that kind of takes us to talking about the key features and benefits. So I pointed here three main ones that would be access to deals and information, which pretty much ends up leading to a better communication. Because
Mm.
instead of you, again, when you're dealing with multiple deals with the same partner, even having a system, things can happen and you might forget to do something that it's a little bit out of the process, right? So by having that portal where your partner can just log in and see what's going on, it improves the communication between you guys, because you can just ensure them like, hey, even if I forget to tell you something, I will make sure that the CRM is updated. So if you go in there, you will have access to this information before I might get to reach out to you. And it ends up building that trust that you are not keeping your partners in the dark. Even if it's something that went completely wrong, they will have access to it and they will know that you were being fully transparent with them. The second one is sharing notes and updates, which can again increase some efficiency and productivity, because what I just said, sometimes if you forget to do something because it's out of the process, partners can just see what's going on without you having to take the time to let them know, as long as in advance you guys already kind of built around that process that, hey, if you feel like you need something or that I'm missing out, just go check it out in the CRM. And then the last one, it's in terms of security and privacy consideration, that I know some people might be wondering like, okay, but what can they see, what they can do? I don't want them to see every details about the deal. I just want them to see certain specific pieces of information, or I don't want them to see all the notes that I'm writing. Like, what if I'm saying something like, oh, this person sucks, I don't want to meet them anymore. I don't know. you know?
Hopefully not, but yeah,
Uh,
just in case. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So even though you do have like that enhanced data access that you can make available to your partners, you choose exactly what you want your partner or even your client to see and do in the system.
Yeah, I think, and some people out here, I think a big thing for us in Blue, one of our favorite features is, the ability so that when you're working in Blue, you can change a stage, whether you do that manually or through one of our integrations, to say, hey, the deal went from now is, with the lender, and from the lender now, we got an approval or a conditional approval. That stage, we have a lot of automation set up saying, oh, shoot an email to the realtor or maybe to, the buyer and the seller's realtor or whatever. And so does this replace those emails? I think that's an important question. I think the short answer is no. I think that it's just about meeting your partners where they like to receive their information. Some people really like those emails, keep those going. Some people might prefer this. And, just the more options you have, the more ability you can. I do think partners are very much so like borrowers. They're both different types of clients, in my opinion. And with any client that you're working with, service is so important, and a big part of service is meeting them where they're at, right? Meaning, if this guy or girl likes to get a text them. If they like to get emails, email them. If they like to be able to
Mhm.
log in and just have a high overview of what's going on, provide that to them. And the more you can do that, the more you're going to differentiate yourself, right? So
Mhm.
it's not either or, it's and with this type of thing.
Yeah. And then do you have anything else to add in the key features and benefits before I go into kind of sharing what that looks like in the system, Tom?
No, I think that, I mean, the other kind of cool thing with security, I think, too, a little bit, and I think you'll show this in the demo, which will be cool. We've talked a lot, I think, as an industry, I could say, about, email being a little bit insecure, and a lot of these portals, especially during the application and doc collection process, has addressing, these vulnerabilities that exist on the email side of things, having secure portals, collect docs, and doing that sort of thing. And I think this is, again, an extension of that. If you are interacting with your partners, and maybe, I don't know if certain people here, maybe it's the ID, right? Because the realtor might have your client's ID, and so instead of chasing down an elusive borrower, maybe you can just go to the realtor and get it there. Again, you can do that in a secure fashion, and you'll be able to see that here. So security is for you and yourself, but it's also for your clients, and I think both are obviously really important.
Mhm. So now we got into the live demo. So let me just stop the presentation here and go into the system. And to those that are Blue clients, and if you're not a Blue client yet, I just want to say this is not going to be a tutorial style. We're not going to teach you how to do this. However, at the end, I will be announcing we will have a session where it's our team actually showing you how to implement this, how to create a portal, how to do all these settings in actual like a step-by-step style instead of just clicking things
Yeah.
around to show you the idea of it.
Yeah, exactly. I think we wanted to split it up because we kind of said, okay, if we went in here and showed everyone exactly how to set up a portal, it would take, 30 minutes and that, we might have some people sleeping at the end. So what we really wanted to do this one was talk about the concept, show you a live demo. So what it would actually look like for a borrower or a partner to interact with your portal. And then, yeah, if people are interested, it's really eager to get into actually doing it for them in their Blue account. We got a great follow-up webinar with Nadia on our team. I don't know if people in the chat know Nadia, but she's got one set up,
Yeah.
and yeah, so that's coming out. So for this one, yeah, we're gonna focus more just kind of like a high-level demo overview
Yeah.
of the setup. Yeah.
So the setup, you can choose what's the portal type. And in here, you'll be able to see if it's inactive. If you wanted to invite users, you can do it from here, but I will show you, you can also do that from a client or from a partner profile. And then in here, this is what I was talking about. You will be able to choose exactly what you want them to see, what you want them to do. So you can choose what tabs they can see. So for example, hey, I don't want them to see conditions, or maybe if I am using the system to track conditions, I want them to see that. So then they can see what's going on with the documents. But once you choose, you can also see like, hey, I don't want them to be able to create new things. I just them to be able to like edit. So if they wanted to go in there and put a new phone number, put a new email, they do have the option to do that. So their profile will always be up to date. And you're going to say something, Tom?
No, sorry, I was just sipping my coffee there.
That's
Yeah,
good.
all good. Yeah.
So once you do that, you will be able to then choose even a step further of inside the profile or inside a deal, you have a bunch of fields. You can choose exactly what you want them to see, what you want them to be able to update, what you want them to be able to have access to. So it's literally every single field you would go through, you would choose. So you give them the option to do X, Y, and Z in the system.
Yeah, and I think this here, I mean, as you see it here, we have borrowers and mortgages, but it just equally be partners and mortgages. And so, yeah, that profile that Mariah was bringing up is to say, okay, when they log in, and you'll see this in about 2 minutes, and we kind of do the experience of what it's like to log in.
Yeah.
Everything that Mariah just checked off are the things that then your borrowers, your partners can update. And my best practice is, do the things that might change. I mean, if you think of, we saw there, I think Mariah checked off date of birth. Maybe you don't need to do that because hey, you put it in once and that
Yeah.
shouldn't change, right? Whereas something like income or address, even email address, phone numbers, those are things that, yeah, they do change. And the portal gives you that opportunity to keep your clients in your CRM up to date. So we've talked a lot about the value it brings to your clients, being able to go in here and see how things are. But it's also for you, right? With what we're kind of setting up here, someone can log in and use that portal, just keep things up to date if they wanted to, right? Instead of a realtor saying, hey, Tom, this is my new email address, please start using it. They could literally just log in and change it, and then it's just going to be built right into your CRM, which is pretty cool.
Mhm. And then I am going to be using borrowers as an example here because that's the way I set this up, but you can choose from which module you want to invite people and what they would be able to see. And to invite, let's say I am dealing with a client here. Let's get John Smith. You would have the option in here to come and invite them to the portal. You just click on send portal invitation. They will receive an email to join.
Can you
And
click? Can you click them, Ryan? I'm just curious what it looks.
it literally just say like the user type. So if you have client
Right.
portal, partner portal, and then what's the language to the email that will go out to the client. Now, when that email goes out, this is what it looks like. So you say like, hello, your client's name, your logo, because you will put these in the settings. You're invited to access for the email X. You can click on accept invitation, a few different links. Now, when you click to link, I already accepted the invitation. So I already kind of went through the process. But when you click in there, it will give the client the option it will already have their email, and it will give them the option to create a password. And then when they want to log in, just going to kind of log out here so you can.
And as you're logging out there, one thing I want to make crystal clear for everyone watching, because I know it's going to be a question in the Q&A. You saw in that invite, it said BluMortgage CRM. You saw as even when I logged in, like the loading screen showed BluMortgage. This is BluMortgage. When you send the client portal to your partner or borrowers, it'll be your organization with your logo. So if you're Tom's Brokerage and you have a fancy logo that you have associated with that, that's what it's going to say. It's going to say, welcome to Tom's Brokerage, right? And it's going to have a picture as you have it for your organization. And as that loading screen goes, it's going to say Tom's Brokerage. Like it is branded to your organization. So, your borrowers, your partners aren't getting confused. Hey, what's this BluMortgage? They're not going to see BluMortgage. They're going to see you and your branding. And it's going to look like you set this up and it's your portal, right? So it's completely branded to your organization.
Yeah. So then when you log in, and that's something that I think it's really interesting. Even if your client goes in there like, oh my God, what is my password? You can just click sign in with an OTP, and then it would send an email with that OTP, and then you would be able to log in here.
Yeah, so that kind of speaks to the point of, if they're not logging in every day, they might forget a password, but there's good security features there to make it easier.
Exactly. So when they log in, they will go straight to their profile, and they will be able to see the fields that you chose for them to see. The notes in here, they will only see notes if you choose to share with them, unless, for example, if I go here in my CRM on Mariah's profile, you can see that when I'm writing a note,
So
I
this
have
that
an
you're doing
option.
right now, this is kind of the broker view, right?
Yeah,
So this is,
the
yeah,
one in
okay.
blue, it's the
Yeah,
broker view. Yeah.
yeah.
So here you can see that when I am dealing with Mariah, the tester, I have a lot of notes written in here. But when I go to my other screen, which is actually the Mariah as a borrower logging in, there's no notes in here.
Mm.
So when you are dealing internally with your team, now back to the blue system, when you're dealing internally with your team and you are putting notes, they will not see it.
Sure.
They will only see a note. Let's say, for example, waiting for underwriting to finalize. If I click share to customer, that's when I would be able to see this in my profile as a client. So now if I updated this in here, you will see that now I can see that note because it was shared with me. Another really cool thing is when the client is doing something, they can update information if you gave them permission. But if they wanted to ask something, they could come in here. They can also write a note.
Can you tag in this note? Like, can I tag, like, be like at my broker?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
So if you know, like, hey, I'm dealing with Bob the agent, Jamie the broker, whoever I'm dealing with, I can tag them. Can you let me know what's going on? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just something.
Yeah.
So now if I went back to my blue system and I update this page.
Lots going back and forth, eh? Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I left it in blue. So then
Yeah.
the blue one is BluMortgage, the black one is just the. So now you can see that the client put a note in here and it says to you that it was from the portal user. So when you were reading the notes, you don't get confused like, hey, who wrote this note in here? Right? So that's one thing. If you have a deal, they will be able to see the mortgages that they have. So if I went into my deal, I can see that the stage is closed. And if I had any other type of information in here, like I can add it because I didn't put permission, I can only see. So that's something, you can let them see, but not change things just to make sure they're not messing up with anything. But they would be able to see like, okay, my mortgage is closed. If it was in a different stage, they would be able to see like, okay, the underwriting is in progress. It's conditionally approved, kind of what is going on in here. And then same thing. If you wanted clients to see, you can put. If they wanted to ask for updates, they would be able to. If they wanted to ask something like, hey, I want you to update a document or I want you to upload something, the client could come in here and upload that document as well.
Yeah, Mara, maybe you can show the document side of things too, because that's obviously something that we talked about a bit. I mean, we talked about the notes briefly, but how would you do like a actual document that you'd want to share?
So for example, let's say I am dealing with Mariah and I want Mariah to upload an ID. I could come in here and be like, Mariah, can you upload copy of your ID? And I'm going to click share to customer. So now when Mariah is on her profile, she will have a little note in here being like, hey, can you upload a copy of your ID?
Hmm.
So I could even reply to these one, choose a document. I'm just going to put a random PDF in here because you can choose pretty much from anything. There you go. And now just you and the client would have access to that document.
Yeah, and that appears in blue. So yeah,
And
this
we
is a
appear
big
in blue.
one. And you can see here, some people say, okay, yeah, is this, I do this. I usually don't say do this at the beginning of the process. This is more, again, like we see people doing this more in like Finmo, Velocity, Scarlet, those types of tools, Boss. That's like that initial upfront doc collection just to try and get a pre-approval or at least an initial application. But where we see a lot of people using this type of thing is usually maybe when you get an approval back from a lender, right? So the lender comes back and they say, okay, we need these three things. Now you're a little bit outside your standard process. Each time it's a little bit different. So when you want to do something a little bit more ad hoc, this is a great place to do it and where you can do it there.
Exactly.
The other thing that I'll quickly mention too, Mara, if you scroll down to mortgages there, in this example, we have just the one mortgage with Mariah. So Mariah is our borrower, one mortgage. And so this was one of these examples where we talked about the difference between being a borrower client and a partner client. So yeah, a borrower in this case, one deal, it's a bit more transactional, but if you can put on your imagination cap for a second, imagine if you had a realtor where you had 5 deals or 10 deals or whatever it is going on at one time. They don't have to email you and say what's going on with this one, what's going on with this one, what's going on with this one.
Mm-hmm.
It'll literally be a list there, right? There'll be 5 separate deals there, and you can see the status of each of them, right? And then if there's one at a status you're not so sure about, you can comment on that specific deal. Be like, hey, what's going on? Can we understand this better, right? So that's where
Exactly.
we see a lot of the power and people really leaning into these portals. Is yeah, when like let's say a realtor again can log in and literally see the 4, 5, 6, whatever, how many deals you have working with them in a
Mm-hmm.
single spot, right? It's all right there. They can see what's going on. They're happy, and you're you're happy because you're sharing information with your client without too much overhead for you and your team.
Mm-hmm. Another thing as well is when you're working at a partner level is if they had referred business to you, they also would be able to see it in here like, hey, did you contact that client? Is it a prospect? Is it already a client? So
Yeah,
they can keep track of like, hey, I'm sending people as a realtor, I'm sending people to these broker and I know that these broker is actually reaching out to people. So I'm going to keep sending them business.
yeah, awesome,
So it would be in here.
awesome.
And that kind of are the top things that you can do in here
Yeah, I think
based on
yeah, I think
how
that was.
you,
I don't know if you had anything else, Mariah, but we got a lot of really good questions here, so maybe we can
yeah,
dive into those. Would that work?
yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
going to.
Okay. I should have let you do your thing, but yeah. So I'll do a couple quick ones here. So right off the top, said, is there a built-in release form for borrowers to sign that allow us to share their data with partners like a realtor? Short answer is actually no. We don't have like a built-in release form like that. What I would usually say with that is, just don't share the ultra sensitive data, right? Things that would require a release form, like things like their SIN or their date of birth or that sort of stuff, financial or what is it, PII, personally identifiable information. I would say keep that out of the portal, or at least in those toggles at the beginning, don't put those things in. Instead, really what the portal we see for, it's just more like updates, right? Hey, this deal just got approved, right? That's really where the power of this type of portal is, and that's where we recommend people staying.
Exactly. And if you really wanted to have something, you could build a form or just put a checkbox where you can collect, like from Zoho Forms, or even just an email
That's
where
true.
they authorize you to share that.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going to group these next two together, and maybe, I don't know, Mariah, you want to take this. Do we
Mhm.
get notifications when someone tags us in the portal, and vice versa? And I assume vice versa means if we tag the client, do they get notified of a note?
So if you have in your settings to like, hey, every time something changes, because you can do the settings of what you want to get notified. Let me open the blue session, like the blue thing in here. You can get notifications in here of changes that happen in a client's profile. So if you have that settings turned in, you could get a notification. You would get notified if they tag you in here, just like you would if you tagged a coworker. They get a notification. That will happen. However, if you tag the client, I don't think you have the ability to tag. You can
That's a good
only
question.
tag
Actually, I don't
users.
know either. Yeah.
You can only tag users from the CRM. So like if I want to tag Jamie the broker, I can. But if I wanted to tag Mariah, no, because she's not a user.
I wonder if there's a
So
way to do that though, Mariah. I mean, maybe that's homework for me and you for this session with with Nadia we can do, but
yeah,
I feel like there should be a way, and maybe we can look into that, or maybe try and find something there.
yeah.
Um, cool. Um, okay, just a quick one here in regards to cybersecurity. How safe is the source sensitive items? I mean, yeah, it runs on the same security protocols as Blue does in general, right? So there's no security compromises by using this. And yeah, we can share all the Blue kind of security protocols, but it's, SOC 2. That's really the industry standard. There's a bunch of other certifications that come with it, and we'd be happy to share that. So um, quite secure is probably the answer there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then last question here. By inviting client plus realtor, is the realtor visibility all or none? I.e., does the realtor get messaged on slash have visibility to every little comment that the broker makes? So yeah, like if you invite, Mariah, maybe you can answer this one. If you invite the realtor to to your portal, are they going to get notified every single time you make a comment there, or how does that work?
No, you will only get notified if they tag you, and they can only see the notes that you share to customer. But just to make sure, if you're inviting client plus realtor, it would be two different portals. It wouldn't be the same portal. So they wouldn't have the
Mm,
same type of access.
right.
So the
Yeah.
things that you're putting in the realtor profile, realtor can see only that. Things that you're putting in the borrower's profile, borrower can see only that. They're two different portals in there.
Yeah. That's a
So
good.
they
Yeah.
wouldn't see the comments between broker and borrower. They would see just comments that you put in share to customer in that deal, for example, if they have access to that.
Yeah. Quick one here. Ryan was asking, can we use the app? I don't think so. I think it is only web portal.
It's
Have you ever tried? Did you try doing it through your phone? I actually haven't tried it yet.
I haven't tried through the phone, but it is only like a URL.
Yeah, but I wonder if you open it if on your phone and try to log in, what would it look like? Do you have it open? Could we test it quick?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll answer the next question as you're bringing that up.
sounds
That's
good.
a good question, Ryan. Um, okay, another one here from an anonymous person saying, you don't have to be anonymous, but anyways, in any case, if we enter important dates such as the end date or pre-approval date, can it automatically send an email to the client for each step of the loan process? And can we customize the content of these emails? So the short answer is yes. I would say that's almost like a more fundamental Blue feature. This portal that we talked about today, this is more of an add-on, maybe more of a bell and a whistle, but yeah, what you're describing is really core to what Blue is. So short answer is yes. You can have dates in there. The system can have it so it's triggered, and these specific emails can go out to your clients or to your realtors or whoever it is. We have those emails pre-baked in the system, those automations pre-built in the system. But if you want to, you can go in and tweak those as you need to. So that was very much what I was saying at the beginning when we are kind of going through the slides. It's not one or the other. You can have the portal, but you can also have these automatic emails that can get sent out, right? And usually people do a nice combination of both, depending on really what their clients prefer. So it can be either or. But to your question, yeah, those emails exist. They're ready to go, and they can be sent out.
So you can't do it through the app, but if you log in through your mobile browser,
Like if you're just on Safari or whatever on your iPhone.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for it to finalize loading, but it's not super user friendly.
Yeah. Can you see? Can we see on the screen?
I don't like. I can just show it like this. It's like it's not very user friendly, but you
It's like
kind
the
of can
desktop version, but on your phone,
on your
basically.
phone exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, more on the desktop, I would say, Ryan, is where it's designed for, but it's at least possible on your phone if you have a certain partner who doesn't mind kind of powering through that.
Yeah. Um. So
Okay.
now, while more questions come in, I just wanted to share with you guys this, that for those that are interested in, let me just share my screen again, and actually going through the step by step on how to implement this if you're a Blue client, we are hosting a Blue session number 22 on enhancing client and partner engagement through portals. It will be on Thursday, July the 18th at 2 p.m. EST. And you guys will receive a follow-up email that will have all these slides, including the link for registration for this. These sessions are for clients only. So if you're not a client, I would be happy to have a demo with you, go through the system and see if Blue is a good fit for you. So then you can get access to these portal.
Yeah, so July 18th, that'll be kind of the session. I mean, if anybody's like, oh no, I want to get this, that's it's pretty far out. I want to get something in much sooner than that. Well, we also have different recordings and KBs that can help. But we wanted to kind of be respectful. We know summer's a bit busy. You guys already dedicated a bunch of time to this webinar. So giving you a bit of time to kind of catch your breath. And, I know it's the holiday week next week. So that was a tricky week. So yeah, 18th to date. But yeah, like I said, if there's someone out there who wants to kind of get this rolling sooner, let us know. But if not, if that's hopefully good timing for most of you there, and we can see you on the session on the 18th.
Mhm. So there's another question. How do you access the portals after they're set up? Or is it just by sharing notes and information available to the client partner with them logging in? Not a tab at the top like Mortgage Borrowers Partners. So you mean in your Blue, Trish? If I understood your question, for you to access what is in there, you would go through your settings. It's not a tab at the top, it's in the settings, and then you can kind of access the portals after they're set up to change what they look like, to change what clients can see, to turn it on or off. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it's not going to be like a separate tab, Trish, where it's like, okay, what does my portal look like and how's it, um, how are my realtors seeing it or my clients seeing it? Really what it is, think of the portal as almost like it's like a small window into your CRM, right? So what the client's going to see is, first of all, in this area, what you've set up in terms of visibility, what they can see. And then after that, it's literally just taking a look at your CRM, seeing what's in there, and then serving that up to the client or the partner. So yeah, the best way to do it, what I recommend, would be to make yourself a test client portal user. I would do that before you even send it out to anybody, is put yourself in as a partner or borrower or however you have it set up. Send yourself the invite, and then you can at least see it, and you can log in and be like, oh, okay, this is how it works. You can get a look and feel for it, and and then you can start sending out to your clients. And yeah, I mean, with that in mind too, I recommend for anyone who's doing this, especially to realtors, even your clients, filming little looms or bombs or whatever it is, whatever tools people use, because if you just send them an invite, people might get a little confused. But if you can associate that with a nice tutorial and explain them what they're doing and why you're doing this, that you're just going to get that much more value out of it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So next question is, so you set it up and then anyone you invite will see the private info that you have allowed them to see. Yes. So once you set it up, you can see, and then in here, you can see how many users you have. And if I wanted to see who are my users, I can also oversee it from here, see if they are active or not. And I can even turn it on or not. Let's say
You shut them off.
you
Yeah.
can shut them off if they're
Yeah.
being just, I don't know, so annoying to the point that you're like, hey, I want to revoke their access. You can turn it off. But once you are doing the configuration, you can also have like all the settings that Nadia will go through on the session on manage the forms, what you can do, like all the emails, you can customize them. So even on these email, you could already kind of put that loom explaining like, hey, do you need help on how to do this? Here is a video. And you can use the portal preview to see what it will look like to your client from here.
Yeah, it's another way you can do it, but I think
Yeah.
both is good to do this, but also actually invite yourself.
Yeah, I would do both as well. Like these while the setup process, once everything is set up, invite yourself as a user so then you can see clicking things around what feels like.
Okay. I don't know if you had any other questions there, but if not, we'll stay on for another couple minutes here, maybe to 2:45 for on Eastern time here. But if there are any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you'd rather shoot us an email, you can always get us at sales@blumortgage.ca. That's our
Yep.
email address. Mariah and I both monitor that inbox, so you can send it there. But thank you. Thanks, Mariah, of course, for taking us through
Yeah.
that, but also everyone for joining. We really appreciate the support.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks everyone. Again, if you have any questions, let us know. You will receive an email with a link to register for the webinar that will teach you, walk you through the process of setting these up. Again, if you need help before that, just email support at blueroot.ca. They will be able to assist you with this. And just thank you, everyone, for joining. If there are any questions, we'll stay a couple more minutes just waiting for it. If we see there are no more questions coming in, then that's it for today. Let's see. Or if also people just start dropping, that means that there
I
are
know.
no more questions.
When the numbers start to
Uh,
plummet, right? Yeah, that's when we know.
yeah, that's how we know as well. And on the email with that link, you guys will also receive a recording of the session. Thank you, Trish. Okay, there are some questions popping in.
There you go. Okay. Is there a file size restriction in the CRM for overall files? Yeah, so that's a good question, an important question. Short answer is that there is a limit, and it contributes to in CRM, in Zoho CRM that we're built on, there's an overall limit. I don't know the exact number because it's a bit of a moving target. They change. It's always growing, so I don't have the exact number with me now, but there is a limit. And so if your clients are uploading docs or you're uploading docs, it's all contributing to that storage limit.
Yeah,
And yeah, once that's hit, you can upgrade it, and it's again getting cheaper to kind of upgrade it, but there is a limit.
yeah.
And
Right now
Stephen,
it's 10 gigabytes.
it's 10. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's 10. Yeah.
And if you wanted to get started right away, Blue Support can give direction. Yes, Timothy. You can just email our support team, see that you are in the webinar, and they will assist you with it.
What do you guys think? We try to do this 1-2 punch where we do kind of this more high level webinar and then do a support one in a couple of weeks. Do you think that was kind of good? Should we have done the support one sooner? Should we have done the support one first so we kind of have it in our back pocket in time for this? What do you guys think? And maybe, I don't know, in the Q&A, or shoot us a note afterwards, but we're trying to
Oh,
do this thing where we
let me see. I think
these
I can make
yeah.
a poll.
Ah, okay, for the 5
I
people who
have it.
there's
I
more than
know.
5 people, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
actually just put it in the Q&A, guys, but it's easier.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. I'm gonna say
Good idea.
no news is that was uh-oh. Yeah, okay. I like to Okay, so Trish said she liked this first, and then okay, yeah, I can attend the training. And then Timothy is saying, yeah, it'd be better maybe to have that canned setup video ready to go in time for this. That's probably a good suggestion. Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah.
Probably, I know Nadia is in the call. Probably it's already a good call for them to do like a quick how-to video already, and then just any questions and everything else will be answered at the webinar. I know it seems like a long way until there, but 2 weeks and a half pass by really quick.
Yeah, especially in the summer with
That's
days
all we
off and
got.
kids out of school and people doing stuff. Summer weeks are
Yeah,
like just fly by.
that's
Okay.
actually the reason why we put that stop that in between, because we know like schools are going on vacation now, so
Yeah.
to give some time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I'm gonna jump here. I don't know if you'll stick around,
Yeah,
but yeah, thanks
I'll
again,
go as
everyone.
well.
And yeah, we'll
We'll see you
see you guys
next time.
later. Yeah.
Take care, everyone. Bye.